Hey Pisces, come sit with me, because what I'm seeing in your cards today is absolutely fascinating, and I need to share this energy with you right now. I just finished pulling cards for your reading, and honestly, the universe is speaking volumes about what's happening in your world regarding these disputes and cover-ups you're dealing with. So I'm sitting here with my deck, and I asked the universe specifically about this situation you're navigating, where people are trying to control your reality and create these mental blocks for you. The energy that came through was so intense and clear that I actually had to take a moment to ground myself before I started interpreting what I was seeing. This is one of those readings where the cards are practically vibrating with information, and I can feel that what's happening in your life right now is much bigger than just some simple disagreement or misunderstanding. The first card that practically jumped out of my deck was the Queen of Swords. And let me tell you, this card appearing first is not what most people would expect when we're talking about deception and cover-ups, but this is exactly why I love tarot so much. The universe doesn't always give us the obvious answers, and sometimes the most powerful guidance comes from the cards we least expect to see. The Queen of Swords is coming through as your inner truth detector, Pisces. Now, you might be thinking, wait, shouldn't we be seeing something more dramatic or obvious here? But that's exactly the point. The universe is telling you that your greatest weapon against these people who are trying to manipulate your reality is your sharp, clear thinking. This queen represents that part of you that can cut through the BS with surgical precision. And right now, that's exactly what you need to be channeling. What's absolutely beautiful about this queen showing up first is that she's telling you that you're not the victim in this situation that others might want you to believe you are. She's sitting on her throne with that sword pointed upward, and I can feel her energy saying to you, Pisces, you have the intellectual capacity to see through every single lie they're telling you. Your intuition, which is already incredibly strong as a water sign, is being backed up by this razor-sharp mental clarity that nobody can manipulate or control. I'm getting such strong energy from this queen about documentation and evidence. She's not just thinking clearly, she's keeping records, she's paying attention to inconsistencies in people's stories, she's noticing when actions don't match words. For you, Pisces, this might mean starting to write things down, keeping track of conversations, maybe even recording interactions when it's legal to do so. The Queen of Swords never relies on memory alone when dealing with deceptive people because she knows that gaslighting is one of their favorite tactics. The Queen of Swords is also speaking about communication here, and this is absolutely crucial for your situation. She's not just thinking clearly, she's speaking her truth with authority and precision. For those people trying to control your narrative, trying to make you doubt what you know to be true, this queen is your reminder that your voice matters and your perception of reality is completely valid. She's encouraging you to speak up, to ask direct questions, to demand clear answers, and to not accept vague responses or emotional manipulation as substitutes for truth. I'm also getting from this queen that you need to trust that analytical side of your personality that maybe you don't always lean into as a Pisces. You're naturally intuitive and emotional, which is absolutely beautiful and one of your greatest strengths, but right now the universe is asking you to balance that with some serious intellectual firepower. This queen wants you to ask the hard questions, to demand evidence, to not accept vague explanations or emotional manipulation tactics as valid responses to your legitimate concerns. What's fascinating about the Queen of Swords appearing in your reading is that she's showing me that you've actually been developing this energy for a while now, maybe without even realizing it. There have been moments recently where you've caught people in inconsistencies, where you've felt that sharp ping of recognition when someone's story doesn't add up, where you've found yourself asking more pointed questions than you used to. This queen is your confirmation that those instincts are absolutely correct and you should trust them completely. The Queen of Swords is also telling me something really important about boundaries. She doesn't engage in emotional manipulation games because she refuses to accept the premise that her reality is up for debate. When someone tries to tell her that what she experienced didn't happen, or that her feelings are wrong, or that she's overreacting, she simply doesn't engage with those tactics. She knows that her experience is her experience, and she doesn't need anyone else's validation to know what's true for her. For you, Pisces, this means learning to say things like, I disagree with your interpretation of what happened, instead of trying to prove that you're right. It means trusting your own judgment, even when other people are trying to make you doubt it. It means understanding that people who are trying to control your reality will often accuse you of the very things they're doing, and having the mental clarity to see through those projection tactics. Now, the second card that came through was the Three of Pentacles. And this is where things get really interesting because we're talking about disputes and cover-ups, right? Most people would expect to see something more confrontational or defensive, but the Three of Pentacles is showing me that there's actually a collaborative element to resolving this situation that you might not have considered yet. This card is absolutely fascinating because it's showing me that while, yes, there are people trying to control your reality, there are also allies around you who can help you build a stronger foundation of truth. The Three of Pentacles represents skilled collaboration and expertise, and I'm getting the very clear message that you don't have to handle this situation entirely on your own. In fact, trying to handle it alone might actually be playing into their strategy of isolating you and making you feel like it's your word against theirs. What's really powerful about this card appearing in your reading is that it's suggesting that the people trying to create these cover-ups are actually not as organized or as powerful as they want you to think they are. The Three of Pentacles shows structured, honest work between people who respect each other's skills and contributions, and by contrast, it's highlighting that what they're doing is sloppy, unsustainable, and ultimately will crumble under any real scrutiny. I'm seeing that this collaborative energy is going to manifest in several different ways for you. First, there might be other people who have had similar experiences with these same individuals. And when you start talking to them, you're going to discover patterns of behavior that make everything much clearer. Sometimes what feels like an isolated incident is actually part of a much larger pattern. And connecting with others who have witnessed similar behavior can be incredibly validating and empowering. This card is also telling me that you have more support than you realize, Pisces. There might be people in your work environment, your social circle, or even professional contacts who have pieces of information that can help you see the bigger picture. The Three of Pentacles encourages you to reach out, to build alliances with people who share your values of honesty and integrity, and to remember that you don't have to face this challenge completely alone. What I love about this Three of Pentacles energy is that it's not just about gathering people to help you fight against something negative. It's about building something positive and constructive together. Instead of just trying to prove that they're wrong, the Three of Pentacles is encouraging you to focus on creating your own solid foundation of truth and success that makes their attempts to control your reality completely irrelevant. I'm also getting that this collaborative aspect might involve some kind of professional guidance or expertise. Maybe you need to consult with someone who understands the legal aspects of your situation, or a counselor who can help you process the psychological manipulation you've been experiencing, or a mentor who can give you perspective on the professional implications of what's happening. The Three of Pentacles reminds you that seeking expert guidance isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom. This card is also showing me that there's going to be a moment where multiple people come forward with information or support at around the same time, creating this momentum that becomes impossible for the people trying to maintain their cover-up, to ignore or explain away. It's like when one person finds the courage to speak up, it gives others permission to share what they've been seeing and knowing as well. The Three of Pentacles is also speaking to your professional reputation and standing during this time. I'm seeing that while these people are trying to undermine your credibility or question your competence, the truth is that your actual work and contributions speak for themselves. The people who matter, the people who have worked with you directly and seen your skills and integrity in action, they know who you really are, and their support is going to be much more influential than whatever narrative these other people are trying to create. The third card that appeared was the Eight of Wands. And wow, this completely changes the energy of your reading because this card is all about rapid movement and swift action. After seeing the Queen of Swords for mental clarity and the Three of Pentacles for building alliances, the Eight of Wands is telling me that once you get your strategy in place, things are going to move fast in your favor. This card appearing in a reading about cover-ups and disputes is actually brilliant because the Eight of Wands represents truth cutting through deception at lightning speed. It's like when you finally connect all the dots and everything becomes crystal clear in a matter of moments. All those mental blocks they've been trying to create for you are about to shatter because truth has a way of moving faster than lies. And lies require so much energy to maintain, while truth just flows naturally. The Eight of Wands is also about communication moving rapidly, and I'm seeing this as a flurry of emails, text messages, phone calls, maybe even social media posts that are going to expose what's really been going on. There's an energy of information flowing so quickly that the people trying to control the narrative won't be able to keep up with their damage control efforts. It's like trying to plug holes in a dam that's already starting to break apart. What I absolutely love about this card in your reading is that it's showing me that you're moving from a defensive position to an offensive one. Instead of spending your time and energy trying to protect yourself from their attempts to control your reality, you're about to be in a position where you're actively setting the record straight and moving your life forward at a pace that leaves them scrambling to catch up and completely unable to keep up with their manipulation tactics. This rapid energy of the Eight of Wands also suggests that opportunities are going to start appearing for you very quickly once this situation gets resolved. It's like the universe has been holding back some really good things for you, waiting for you to clear out this drama and deception, and now everything is about to flow toward you at once. New job opportunities, new relationships, new creative projects, new financial possibilities, all of it rushing toward you because you finally have the mental and emotional space to receive it. I'm also seeing that the Eight of Wands represents messages and communications that travel long distances, which might mean that support or information is going to come from unexpected places. Maybe someone who used to work with these people but moved to a different city or company is going to reach out with important information. Maybe someone who witnessed something months or years ago is finally going to come forward. Maybe documentation that was previously hidden or inaccessible is going to surface at exactly the right moment. The speed and intensity of the Eight of Wands also suggests that once this situation starts unraveling for the people trying to maintain their cover-up, it's going to happen so quickly that they won't have time to create new lies to explain away the truth. Their stories are going to start contradicting each other. Their allies are going to start distancing themselves, and their whole house of cards is going to collapse faster than they ever imagined possible. This card is also telling me that your own communication skills are going to be incredibly sharp and effective during this time. When you do speak up, when you do share your side of the story, when you do present your evidence or your perspective, it's going to land with such clarity and impact that people are going to wonder how they ever believed anything different. The Eight of Wands gives you the ability to cut through confusion and get straight to the heart of what matters. The fourth card I pulled was the King of Pentacles, and I have to tell you, this card showing up in a reading about people trying to control your reality is giving me major confirmation that you're about to come out of this situation in a much stronger position than when you entered it. This is not just about surviving this challenge, Pisces, this is about thriving because of how you handle it. The King of Pentacles represents mastery over the material world, financial security, and the kind of solid, unshakable success that can't be manipulated or taken away from you by external forces. When we're dealing with people who are trying to create cover-ups and control narratives, they're often doing it because they're threatened by your potential for exactly this kind of success and stability. What's incredibly powerful about this king appearing in your reading is that he's showing me that their attempts to create mental blocks for you are actually failing spectacularly. This king has already thought through every angle, he's prepared for every contingency, and he's built his success on such a solid foundation of genuine skill, hard work, and integrity that external manipulation tactics simply can't touch him. He's like a mountain that remains unmoved no matter how strong the storms around him become. I'm getting the very clear message that part of what's motivating these disputes and cover-ups is that certain people can see your potential to achieve this King of Pentacles energy, and they're desperately trying to prevent you from reaching it. But here's the thing, beautiful Pisces, this card appearing in your reading means that their efforts are not only going to fail completely, but they're actually going to end up accelerating your journey toward this level of success and stability. The King of Pentacles is also telling me that you need to start thinking about the long-term implications of this situation. While it might be tempting to get caught up in the immediate drama and disputes, this King wants you to keep your eye on the bigger prize. How can you use this experience to build something even stronger for yourself? How can you turn their attempts to control your reality into motivation to create a reality that's so abundant and secure that no one can ever threaten it again? This King is also speaking very directly to your relationship with money and resources during this time. I'm seeing that some of the cover-ups and disputes might be related to financial matters, or that resolving this situation is going to lead to significantly improved financial circumstances for you. The King of Pentacles never worries about money because he understands how to create and maintain wealth through providing genuine value, and he's passing that confidence and knowledge on to you right now. What's beautiful about this King's energy is that he doesn't get pulled into petty disputes or waste his time trying to convince people who are determined to misunderstand him. He knows his worth, he knows the value of his contributions, and he doesn't need external validation to feel secure in his position. For you, Pisces, this means learning to derive your sense of self-worth from your own achievements and integrity rather than from other people's opinions or approval. The King of Pentacles is also showing me that you're developing or about to develop some new skills or areas of expertise that are going to make you much more valuable and much more independent. Maybe this whole situation is pushing you to learn more about legal matters or financial management or professional networking or public relations. Whatever it is, these new capabilities are going to serve you for years to come. I'm also getting from this King that there are going to be some tangible material benefits that come from how you handle this situation. Maybe a promotion, maybe a new job opportunity, maybe a financial settlement, maybe just the respect and recognition that comes from standing up for yourself with grace and strength. The King of Pentacles always deals in concrete results, not just moral victories. This card is also telling me that you're going to become someone that others look up to and come to for advice about similar situations. Your experience navigating this challenge with wisdom and integrity is going to make you a resource for other people who find themselves dealing with manipulation and cover-ups. The King of Pentacles is often a mentor and teacher, sharing his hard-won wisdom with others who are still learning. The fifth card that came through was the Page of Cups. And this is such a beautiful and unexpected card to appear in a reading about disputes and mental manipulation. Most people would expect to see something more confrontational or defensive, but the Page of Cups is showing me that your emotional intelligence and intuitive abilities are actually your secret weapons in this entire situation. This page represents fresh emotional perspectives and the courage to trust your feelings even when others are trying to convince you that your emotional responses are wrong, overblown, or inappropriate. In the context of people trying to control your reality, the Page of Cups is your reminder that your emotional truth is just as valid and just as important as any factual evidence, and that trying to separate your emotions from your logic is actually a mistake in this situation. What's absolutely fascinating about this card is that it's showing me that while these people are trying to create mental blocks for you, they're completely underestimating the power of your emotional intelligence. The Page of Cups can sense deception and manipulation on a level that goes way beyond logic and reasoning. You feel when something isn't right, when someone's energy doesn't match their words, when there are hidden agendas behind friendly facades, and this card is encouraging you to trust those feelings completely and without apology. I'm also getting from this page that there's going to be some kind of unexpected emotional revelation that changes everything about this situation. Maybe someone who's been involved in the cover-up is going to have a change of heart and come forward with crucial information. Maybe you're going to have an intuitive breakthrough that shows you exactly what's been happening behind the scenes. and why. Maybe someone you didn't expect is going to show you genuine kindness and support when you need it most. The Page of Cups is also about new beginnings in the emotional realm, and I'm seeing that once this dispute is resolved, you're going to experience a kind of emotional freedom and lightness that you haven't felt in a very long time. All the stress and confusion and second guessing that they've been trying to create in your mind is going to clear away like fog lifting in the morning sun, and you're going to feel like you can breathe deeply and think clearly again. This card is also encouraging you to approach this entire situation with compassion, even for the people who are trying to manipulate you, not because they deserve it, and certainly not because you should excuse their behavior or make yourself vulnerable to further manipulation, but because maintaining your emotional integrity and your natural empathy is going to serve you much better in the long run than getting pulled down into their level of deception and drama. What I love about the Page of Cups is that she represents the courage to be vulnerable in appropriate ways, to share your truth even when it's scary, to ask for help when you need it, and to trust that your authentic self is more powerful than any false persona you might try to create to protect yourself. This page is telling you that you don't need to become hard or cynical to protect yourself from manipulation. You can maintain your natural sensitivity while also developing better boundaries and sharper discernment. The Page of Cups is also showing me that your creative and artistic abilities might play a role in how this situation resolves. Maybe you'll find that writing about your experience or creating some kind of art that expresses what you've been through or using your creative skills in your professional life helps you process what's happened and move forward in a positive direction. I'm also getting that this page represents receiving emotional support from unexpected sources. Maybe someone much younger than you or someone you don't know very well yet is going to offer you exactly the kind of understanding and encouragement you need. The Page of Cups reminds us that wisdom and kindness can come from anywhere, and we should stay open to receiving help in all its forms. The sixth card I drew was the Four of Swords, and this card appearing in your reading is absolutely perfect because it's showing me that despite all the chaos and attempts to control your reality, you're going to find a way to maintain your inner peace and mental clarity throughout this entire process. This is so important, Pisces, because one of the main goals of people who engage in psychological manipulation is to keep you in a constant state of emotional reactivity and mental confusion. The Four of Swords represents rest, contemplation, and strategic withdrawal. And in the context of your situation, it's telling me that you don't need to engage with every attempt they make to provoke you or draw you into unnecessary drama. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply refuse to participate in their games. Refuse to defend yourself against accusations that don't deserve responses, and refuse to let their chaos disrupt your inner equilibrium. This card is showing me that you're entering a phase where you're going to become very selective about where you invest your mental and emotional energy. The people trying to create these mental blocks and control your narrative are going to discover that you're no longer available for their manipulation tactics because you're focused on much higher priorities than engaging with their attempts to provoke you. The Four of Swords is also about gaining perspective through stillness and quiet reflection. And I'm seeing that some of your most important insights about this situation are going to come not from actively fighting or defending, but from stepping back and observing the patterns of behavior from a more detached and objective viewpoint. When you stop reacting to their provocations and start simply witnessing their behavior, you're going to see things much more clearly. What's beautiful about this card is that it's showing me that you're developing a kind of mental discipline and emotional regulation that makes you essentially immune to their attempts at psychological manipulation. When they try to create confusion, you're going to find clarity through meditation or quiet reflection. When they try to provoke emotional reactions, you're going to respond from a place of calm centeredness. When they try to rush you into decisions or responses, you're going to take the time you need to think things through properly. This Four of Swords is also telling me that you're learning to differentiate between thoughts and feelings that are genuinely yours and those that have been planted or influenced by others. This is such an important skill, especially for someone as naturally empathetic and energetically sensitive as you are, Pisces. You're learning to create healthy boundaries around your mental and emotional space, and to recognize when someone is trying to implant their anxiety, their anger, their confusion, or their agenda into your consciousness. I'm also getting from this card that there might be a period where you choose to physically remove yourself from the immediate environment where this drama is playing out. Maybe you take a vacation, maybe you work from home more often, maybe you just start spending more time in places where you feel peaceful and centered. The Four of Swords supports any decision to prioritize your mental health and emotional well-being over other people's expectations or demands. This card is also about receiving guidance through dreams, meditation, or other forms of inner knowing. I'm seeing that as you create more space for quiet contemplation, you're going to receive some really important insights about not just this immediate situation, but about patterns in your life that have made you vulnerable to this kind of manipulation in the past. This awareness is going to help you make different choices in the future. The Four of Swords is also telling me that you're going to find strength in spiritual practices or philosophical frameworks that help you maintain perspective. Maybe you start meditating regularly, maybe you reconnect with religious or spiritual beliefs that ground you, maybe you find comfort in reading philosophy or psychology that helps you understand human behavior better. Whatever it is, these practices are going to be like armor for your mind and spirit. The seventh and final card I pulled was the Nine of Pentacles. And let me tell you, this card appearing as your outcome is absolutely magnificent because it represents complete independence, self-sufficiency, and the kind of success that nobody can take away from you or manipulate or control. This is your confirmation that everything you're going through right now is ultimately leading you to a place of unprecedented personal freedom and abundance. The Nine of Pentacles is showing me that all of these disputes and cover-ups, all the attempts to control your reality and create mental blocks are ultimately going to result in you achieving a level of personal autonomy and material success that you've never experienced before. It's like the universe is using this challenging situation to push you toward a breakthrough that wouldn't have happened if you had remained comfortable in your previous circumstances. This card represents someone who has learned to rely completely on their own abilities, judgment, and resources. In the context of people trying to manipulate your reality, the Nine of Pentacles is your absolute confirmation that you're about to reach a point where their opinions, their approval, their threats, their attempts at control become completely irrelevant to your happiness and success. You're going to be so secure in your own power and so abundant in your own resources that their manipulation tactics will have literally nothing to grab onto. What I absolutely love about this nine appearing in your reading is that it shows you not just surviving this challenge, but thriving in ways that exceed your current imagination. This card shows someone enjoying the fruits of their own labor, surrounded by beauty and abundance that they've created through their own efforts and wisdom. No one can claim credit for your success. No one can threaten to take it away. And no one can convince you that you don't deserve it, because you'll know exactly how hard you worked and how much you grew to achieve it. The Nine of Pentacles also represents refined taste and high standards. And I'm seeing that this entire experience is going to help you develop much clearer boundaries about who and what you allow into your life. You're not going to be as tolerant of deception, manipulation, or people who don't respect your intelligence and autonomy. You're going to become much more selective about your relationships, your professional associations, and even your casual social interactions. This card is also telling me that your financial situation is going to improve significantly as a direct result of how you handle this current challenge. Whether that's through exposing some kind of financial misconduct and receiving compensation, standing up for yourself in a work situation and earning a promotion or raise, or simply developing the confidence to demand what you're truly worth in your professional life. The Nine of Pentacles promises substantial material rewards for your courage and integrity. I'm also seeing that this improved financial situation is going to give you options and freedom that you've never had before. Maybe you'll be able to start your own business. Maybe you'll be able to relocate to a place you've always wanted to live. Maybe you'll be able to pursue creative projects or educational opportunities that have always interested you. The Nine of Pentacles represents the kind of financial security that opens doors rather than just paying bills. This card is also showing me that you're going to become someone that others admire and look up to, not because of any external trappings of success, but because of the grace and wisdom with which you navigated this difficult situation. People are going to see how you handled manipulation and deception with integrity, how you stood up for yourself without becoming cruel or vindictive, how you maintained your values even when it would have been easier to compromise them. The Nine of Pentacles is also about enjoying the finer things in life that you've earned through your own efforts. I'm seeing you in beautiful surroundings, wearing clothes that make you feel confident and elegant, enjoying experiences that nourish your soul and expand your horizons. This isn't about showing off or proving anything to anyone. It's about finally giving yourself permission to enjoy the good things that life has to offer. So here's what I'm seeing for you, absolutely beautiful Pisces. The Queen of Swords gave you the mental clarity and analytical skills to see through all the deception and manipulation. The Three of Pentacles showed you that you have allies and support available to you in building something better and stronger than what existed before. The Eight of Wands promised that once you take decisive action, everything will move quickly and decisively in your favor. The King of Pentacles confirmed that you're moving toward a position of real power, security, and material success. The Page of Cups reminded you to trust your emotional intelligence and intuitive insights throughout this process. The Four of Swords showed you how to maintain your peace and perspective, no matter what chaos swirls around you. And the Nine of Pentacles revealed that your ultimate outcome is complete independence, abundant success, and a level of personal freedom you've never experienced before. The people trying to control your reality and create mental blocks for you have completely and utterly underestimated who they're dealing with. They see a gentle, empathetic Pisces and they think they can manipulate you, but what they don't realize is that your sensitivity is actually your superpower. You can feel their deception before they even fully form their lies in their minds. You can sense their fear and desperation behind their attempts to control you. You can detect the inconsistencies in their stories and the gaps in their logic. These disputes they're creating and the cover-ups they're trying so desperately to maintain are going to collapse under the weight of their own contradictions. Truth has a way of surfacing, especially when someone as intuitive and perceptive as you is paying attention to all the details they think they're hiding. Lies require enormous amounts of energy to maintain, while truth flows naturally and effortlessly. The mental blocks they're trying to create for you are not going to work because you have multiple sources of clarity and insight working in your favor. Your logical mind, represented by the Queen of Swords, your collaborative network shown in the Three of Pentacles, your rapid-fire communication abilities from the Eight of Wands, your growing material power indicated by the King of Pentacles, your emotional intelligence from the Page of Cups, your spiritual grounding from the Four of Swords, and your ultimate independence shown by the Nine of Pentacles all combine to make you practically immune to their psychological manipulation tactics. What's going to happen is that their attempts to control your narrative are going to backfire so spectacularly that they'll probably be shocked by the consequences. Every lie they tell is going to make the truth more obvious by contrast. Every manipulation tactic they try is going to make your authentic self shine brighter and more appealing to the people who matter. Every mental block they attempt to create is going to strengthen your determination to think clearly and act independently. I want you to remember, precious Pisces, that people only try to control others when they feel powerless and threatened in their own lives. The fact that they're going to such elaborate lengths to manage your perception of reality tells you everything you need to know about how intimidated they are by your potential. They can see your strength, your intuition, your growing confidence, and your increasing success, and they're trying desperately to undermine it before you fully realize what you're capable of achieving. But it's already too late for that strategy to work. The cards are showing me that you're already well into the process of stepping into your full power. The King of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles energy is building steadily in your life, and no amount of external manipulation can stop that momentum now. You're like a river that's been temporarily dammed up, and all that pressure is about to burst forth in a rush of success and abundance that will sweep away any remaining obstacles. Trust your instincts completely about people's motivations and hidden agendas. Trust your ability to see through their facades and detect their deceptions. Trust that the truth will always surface eventually, no matter how much effort they put into suppressing it. And most importantly, trust that you have everything within you to not only survive this challenge, but to emerge from it stronger, wiser, more successful, and more free than you ever imagined possible. The universe is absolutely, unquestionably on your side in this situation, and these 7 cards are your confirmation that justice, truth, and authentic success are all flowing toward you right now, like a river rushing toward the sea. Stay strong, stay clear, stay true to yourself, and watch how beautifully everything unfolds in your favor. Your journey through this challenge is transforming you into exactly the person you need to be to receive all the good things that are waiting for you on the other side.